This morning, Lauren Oliver joins us. All right, we just got the book. I'm so excited to read it. Talk a little bit about the inspiration in writing Vanishing Girls.
Sure. Vanishing Girls is the story of two sisters, Nick and Dara. They're very close in age, and although they are very different, for much of their lives they're inseparable until a bad accident leaves one of them scarred and the other one unharmed. And then their relationship begins to fall apart. And it's hard to talk about without giving too much away because it is a thriller, but there are various mysteries that kind of intersect over the course of the novel. And it was a book inspired, in part from my relationship with my sister and just a desire to explore the way that our identities are really formed partly by our siblings.
Isn't that the truth of it? I have a brother myself, and so I think a lot of people with siblings are really going to enjoy this. How do you, as an author, write for different age groups? Young kids versus young adults versus, you and I, adults.
Yeah, I read very broadly, so I think that helps. I read everything from, literary fiction for adults to kids' books to nonfiction about science. So I think that partly helps. You really learn as a writer from what other people are doing. But also, I really have always seen the job of a writer is just to really fully try to understand the world of your book and to understand the characters as much as possible, and then to try to get out of the way and not mess anything up. It's really the characters who dictate the story itself.
And Lauren, right now it seems we've had a lot of authors on talking about the supernatural, realistic storytelling. I just finished reading The Fifth Wave. What are some of your predictions in where storytelling is going?
Yeah, well, there's a huge resurgence now. There's a lot of fairy tales that are being retold and reconceived, which is always exciting. I think I've seen some really cool sales recently of new sci-fi projects. I think that's probably still a couple years out, but I'm hoping, selfishly, since I have a sci-fi project, I'm hoping that becomes a big thing. But, I also have to say, in general, I hope that that the industry gets less focused on trends and more focused on celebrating all of the different kinds of literature that are being published now for young people and for older people too.
Lauren, you're actually the co-founder of a boutique literary development company called Paper Lantern. Talk to me a little bit about how you're able to wear both the business and the artistic hats, and how in the world do you have time to do it all?
Well, part of it is just, as you suggest, time management, but actually I really think it's good for me. Writers, we basically just swan around in our pajamas, not showering and conversing with people inside of our heads. So it's not necessarily the best and most sane way of living your life. So being in the business, having a business that connects me with my brilliant editors and young authors, really keeps me grounded in both the outside world and, I think it's good to exercise both sides of the brain. That's very important. And I love both dimensions of my job.
My final question to you this morning is, can you give us any tips or any tricks on what you might be working on now?
Well, I just finished writing the screenplay for my book Panic, which I adapted for Universal. And right now I'm struggling with both a teen novel and an adult novel. And I will say struggling is the right word for both of them. So not sure when they'll be done, but I have two irons in the fire.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. The book is right here, Vanishing Girls. It's available now.